making their way to the ring, we have Roman's new special counsel, Kendra.
Hi.
That was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah. If I do say so myself, I could be a ring announcer if I really, really wanted to.
I agree. I think you would do very well at that. But I feel like it's so much pressure. It's kind of like being the kicker for a football team. It's like you're there for such a small amount of the game, but if you fuck up, you ruin everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a good ring announcer is very underappreciated because if you don't hype the crowd up with who's coming out, they ain't gonna give a fuck.
Exactly.
My hair is looking a god-awful mess, but that's all right. Because you know what? It's day one, baby.
It's day one. Good morning, everybody.
Welcome. Jinx. You owe me a Coke.
We have no Coke left. But welcome, everyone, to day one of 2022. Saying it that way seems ominous. Was that me?
It's not me.
Yeah, it was me.
Hang on one second. Let me double check the
audio.
Yeah, I checked it while you were speaking before, but I just want to double check.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh shit! I just muted it. It's all right. Keep talking. Keep talking
normally. You don't talk that quietly usually. Speak to me like you normally speak.
So Kendra tried starting an argument earlier. She's trying to tell me that I'm loud. I mean, she's not wrong.
Did it sound okay?
Yeah, it sounded fine.
If this sounds blown out later, it's because John doesn't hear
You can undo your headphone and listen. I'm not.
Okay.
It sounds fine.
Okay. If this sounds blown out later, it's John's fault. I try to get him.
I'm going to hit her with the people's elbow later.
Like, microphones for normal people just don't seem to work well with him because he's so loud. You can't turn the gain down to 0.
I wonder if there's like a more heavy duty like foam thing I could put here.
Maybe
I need to double it up.
Just put it. Yeah, I don't know. And our setup's not. You know what, guys? We're not here to talk about this. It's the new year. It's the new us. Let's not complain about stuff that's outside of our control for now. Instead, let's talk about wrestling. I want to talk about wrestling.
Some good old fashioned American wrestling.
Yes. So the day one pay-per-view is tonight. I've never seen a day one let's reflect a little bit on 2021. Horrible year for most of us. But I did discover wrestling in 2021. Mm-hmm. So there was that one shining light in the sea of shit that happened.
And it kind of shifted what we do at Perez Periodico.
100%.
Yeah. There's
a lot of content coming out of wrestling. It also shifted the way that I perceive my Mondays and Fridays. Because, I'm busy those days now. Mm-hmm. Anyway. So, yeah, this is my first day one pay-per-view event. I've never seen one before. And I'm excited. I don't know, but I assume it's going to set the tone for, the rest of the year.
Right.
And it also feels like the beginning of WrestleMania. Yeah,
the road to WrestleMania has officially started.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's I don't know what comes after, but if I'm not mistaken, WrestleMania is in April. Mm-hmm. So that means we've got day one. I don't know what comes after day one, but at some point we're gonna have the Royal Rumble before going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
we're getting there, folks.
Yeah. So it's not far off.
Yeah, this will also be my first live WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's fun. Exciting.
So let's just jump right into it. We, for once, know what the kickoff match is going to be.
Do we?
Yes. Sometimes they like to be secretive, and they don't tell us the kickoff match until an hour before it happens.
Right.
But this time we were told, oh my gosh, I remembered to do the graphics. Wow.
I was just about to say something.
She's so smart. Okay. So the kickoff match is going to be Cesaro and Ricochet versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. So we've had a taste, a little nibble of Ridge Holland. But basically his whole thing is Sheamus is his idol or whatever.
Right.
And they go back. They were like bar fighting together or some shit.
Go back to the old country.
They're from different countries, but yeah. And then I will usually always be hyped for any match that Cesaro and or Ricochet is in.
Right.
Ricochet is so fun to watch. As someone who is light skinned, I can say this. He has the lightest skin energy of anyone in the WWE. That can be his claim to fame. The Drake of WWE.
Yeah, that's kind of. I was thinking Drake. Yeah.
Yeah, because that energy. Oof. Sometimes it's just like, I hope you're not actually like that in real life. But
it's like he does something super cool, but then he starts to hype himself up.
Yeah, he knows it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Light skin behavior. Anyway, but I will say, amazing performer to watch because he's so acrobatic. And I mean, Montez Ford, I would say, is like similar level of like acrobatic in the ring, but Ricochet, his whole thing is being tiny and he can like zip around and fly and shit. So I'm excited for this. I think it'll be a good kickoff match. Sheamus is always really fun to watch too, and he talks great shit. So I think the four of them together will be fun to watch.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a cool match.
And no stakes, no like titles or anything are up for anything.
Yeah,
so.
It truly is just like a good start to the night. Because I'm glad that with most of these matches so far, most of the kickoff matches, they haven't been like just like throwaway, like who's at the bottom of the card.
Yeah.
That they get. I mean, I think one of the kickoff matches we saw last year was the Mysterios and the Usos for the tag titles, and the Mysterios lost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad they have a solid tag team match for the kickoff of day one, and I also like Cesaro a lot. I don't know why he
just
like
seems
Cesaro.
like a nice little guy. Not little, he's very tall.
I like how he spin people around.
You do spin? Yeah. I wonder if do you think his ribs are still going to be bandaged? Because he's going on 3 weeks now with bandaged ribs.
They keep fucking him up. They're going to hit him with that little billy club.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Rich Holland is a cop. You can't convince me otherwise. But he's not like nowadays cop. He's like an
old school
like
cop.
An 1880s.
Yeah.
Steampunk turn of the century cop with his fucking little billy club and his newsboy hat.
I love it.
Lean into that because I think that's hilarious.
Yeah. And I hope I've been saying this for months now. Every now and again, when he's coming out just to do like commentator stuff, Sheamus will come out in like suit pants, but with like a tank top and a trench coat.
Suspenders, yeah.
I'm like, it's such a good look. That's such a great look. And I hope they lean into this whole like, we're just a couple of bar fighters kind of thing.
Turn of the century, like Peaky Blinders-esque.
Yeah. I love that as a gimmick.
Me too.
So I wish he would make that more frequent in his in-ring attire, but as
He's
far
too
as
busy to be naked in ring.
Who do I think is going to win this match? I'm going to give it to Cesaro and Ricochet.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Because I feel like they're setting something up to be maybe like a tag team between Sheamus and Rich Holland.
Yes, I think so too. But
so if they won here, I could see that being like, we worked so well together. Let's continue forward. I don't know.
Yeah. I just think, kind of like you were saying, that people who like Cesaro and Ricochet. Oh, bless you. People who like Cesaro and Ricochet, this will be, I don't know, it's going to be like a fun match to root for the faces.
Yeah.
Just because like Sheamus and Rich Holland, they're so fun to hate.
Yeah, very clearly the heels in this situation.
So, I don't know. I think especially, start of the new year, see the good guys win in the first match.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Or if it goes on the trend of the last 2 years, the bad guy's going to win.
Oh, God. Yeah, fair.
Because it's been a bad couple of years.
Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Whoop. Don't say it.
I'm not. What I am going to say, though, is, yeah, I just think that's my prediction, is that I think Cesaro and Ricochet are going to take the cake because, what's his name? Cesaro's lost the last few matches against them.
I guess he has, yeah. So
it'd be nice at a pay-per-view
for him to get a win.
His comeuppance.
With his bandaged ribs.
With his broken fucking ribs.
And he still manages to pull it off.
The Swiss
Superman.
Swiss Superman,
Yeah.
Swiss Cyborg, Swiss Terminator.
See, I don't think anyone's called him the Swiss Terminator except for you.
That's a good one.
I like when he goes like this, and he goes,
Yeah,
and you do a bunch of punches. Aw, Cesaro. Next up, and I don't know if we're following. I accidentally took a screenshot on my phone. That happens frequently.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're following the actual order that these are going to be in, but I'm just going off of the WWE website. Don't come for me. Next up.
Let's try again.
Let me put my phone far away from me here. Next up, we have the Raw Tag Team Championship match. RK Bro versus the Street Profits.
You got the graphic?
I got it. Hold on. There it is. Oh.
There it is.
The 3 most dangerous letters in all of sports entertainment. RK Bro.
RK Bro.
Exactly. So, yeah, this is for the Raw Tag Team Championship title. I don't know. I feel like RK Bro is so beloved that I don't know if they're... I think RK Bro will lose their championships whenever Randy Orton decides he doesn't want to be in a tag team anymore.
Right. Yeah, I think WWE really unintentionally bent themselves over a barrel here because people fucking love RK Bro.
Yeah.
I love RK Bro.
I also think, I mean, this might be a little bit of a conspiracy theory. I think they did Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH because of how popular RK Bro was. Like that kind of opposite. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that hasn't been going too hot on the women's side. So
I have my thoughts about that as well.
Okay.
But well, I just think they gave them such a push. They gave particularly Nikki ASH such a push. And then they're like, oh, people like them teaming up against Charlotte. Let's put them as a tag team. And then they just didn't really do anything with them when they were champions. They had a few matches, and then all of a sudden they lost their titles.
Yeah.
Because of this weird beef they set up with Carmella and Queen Zelina.
Yeah. It felt strange.
Yeah.
I kind of wish Nikki ASH had a little bit more time on her own to be a champion and show us what she can do. But
right. That was the other problem. Was I didn't think she had a good enough reign as women's champion. I don't think that was her fault.
Yeah.
But just in general.
Are we skipping?
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it just went back to normal.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
yeah.
just noticed. But yeah, so I think RK Bro is gonna win again and retain their titles.
Yeah.
But honestly, if they're gonna lose to anybody, I'd rather be the Street Profits because I like the Street Profits very much.
Yeah. Well, we were talking a little bit about this during the last Monday Night Raw. Sorry.
It's fucking
raw. That's what their intro music should be. It's just Gordon Ramsay.
Instead of Ric Flair's woo that they edited out, they put in that. But only for Raw.
Oh, fuck. We're going to have to find those audios and make that ourselves.
Yeah.
That should be our...
For Raw, it would be that. And for SmackDown, it would be Pat McAfee saying SmackDown.
SmackDown.
I love Pat McAfee.
But that's what... yes, to yes and what you were saying. I also really, really like the Street Profits.
Yeah.
So I would be fine with Street Profits beating RK Bro. Because you and I were talking about during the last Raw, it would be kind of nice to see either Randy or Riddle get a bigger push. I mean, Randy's, he's a legend at this point. So
Randy.
he can do basically what he wants at this point.
Right. That's the water for the cats.
But I don't know. I'd like to see Riddle maybe get a push for either like the United States Championship or even at some point down the line later this year for the WWE Championship. That's just wishful thinking. I don't know. I think they're both really, really talented performers. And I'd like to see them get more shine in the singles division. Although they work incredibly well. They're very funny together.
I love them so much together.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm also going to say RK Bro will probably win this one. But I'm going to say that with just the slightest hint of doubt.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're going to have both of them not competing as singles.
Right.
Because I feel like, not that it's a hindrance to be in a tag team or anything like that, but it's harder to stand on your own when you're known for your tag team.
Right.
And I don't know how long people want to get stuck in that before they want to branch out a little bit more. Especially for people like Randy Orton, who are known for being so powerful on their own. Or for people like Riddle, who I think he's relatively new to like the main roster of WWE. So he might not have had as much time to do all of those accomplishments that you can only get when you're on your own.
Right.
But I don't know if we're at that time yet.
I love on last Monday when he said he believed in higher education.
Yeah.
Every now and again they make those jokes and I'm like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. We got like a little snippet of it when the Jackass guys came to plug their movie. Yeah. But like, I think listening to Riddle and Steve-O have like a conversation together, like in character, fully in character,
right,
would melt my fucking brain. I would lose my mind. Because
I hope he pops up in the new Jackass movie.
I really hope he pops up in the new Jackass movie. That'd be the perfect place for him to be.
Right.
Just as long as he's like not hurting himself or something.
Right.
Anyway, so hello.
Snap.
Look who's here. Hi.
I can't believe you changed. I didn't even know you were changing your name to this.
I offered you if you wanted to change your name. Things have changed.
I mean, it's fine. I'm okay with sticking as the Drama Bull. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I guess we should have started the stream off with Happy New Year.
Yeah,
I don't think either of us.
I forgot about it. I was too excited about day one.
Happy New Year, friend. Hopefully
Year.
you had a good New Year's Eve, a good holiday. And now it's time for some wrestling.
So don't get me wrong. I'm still the bloodline bitch. Don't get it twisted. But I am also now Roman's new special counsel. They're going to announce... Ooh, I meant to double check the spelling of council because I know that... I think that's correct.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of like city council.
C-I-L.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm right. Anyway, they're announcing it at day one today. You'll see my face pop up. I am Roman's new special counsel. The storyline, like not to give any spoilers, is that we fall in love. So really sorry to his wife and kids on that one because we're about to get married.
And I'm going to move into a Winnebago with Paul Heyman.
That's fine. You can do whatever the fuck you want with Paul Heyman.
He'll be my new dad.
Well, we'll get into that more. I was going to talk about Paul Heyman, but we'll get into that more when we talk about the headline match for today. Because Paul, buddy, you're in some trouble, my guy. But let's not talk about that yet. Next, let's talk about Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. I cannot stand Madcap Moss, and I understand that that's kind of the point. This is going to be an interesting match because I love Drew McIntyre and I don't care at all about Madcap Moss.
Right.
So I'm here for Drew McIntyre. I think Drew McIntyre is going to win. I will be very upset if he doesn't. And Madcap Moss just needs to... I miss bum ass Baron Corbin. I think that's my issue. I don't like him happy. I don't like him being joyous. He needs to be broke again.
This match seems like a product of a couple of things.
Oh.
It seems like a product of this was meant to be a tag team match, but then Jeff Hardy was released.
Oh.
Because they were kind of setting up this tag team beef between these two groups. So what I think this, and maybe I'm making a bold prediction, one of two things is going to happen. One, this match is going to be a squash in and out, and Drew McIntyre is going to win in like fucking 5 seconds. Or Madcap Moss, who I don't know if you've noticed, I don't know if you've picked up on this, he's not awful in the ring.
No.
I think he's like a legit, like, I don't know, he had like a weird introduction. Maybe he's from NXT. I didn't know who Madcap Moss was before he started coming out with Happy Corbin. But he's not bad in the ring. Mm-hmm. So it might be a surprisingly impressive match and not just some like throwaway.
Yeah.
But they've done that with Drew McIntyre, I think at Extreme Rules. I feel like he had a match that was like
Short.
Super, super quick in and out. So no say. But yeah, either which way, I think Drew McIntyre is going to win. I just hope it's not a squash.
I agree. He deserves more.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for his shot at the Universal title.
Agreed.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah. But yeah, as for this one, I didn't even think about it as a possible tag team that had to get broken apart. But that would make sense to me in my mind. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot of opinions on this one. I think Drew McIntyre, that word is so hard for me as someone who used to have a speech impediment. Guys, I couldn't say my R's real good. Drew McIntyre is going to win, or we'll all be pleasantly surprised by Madcap Moss's win. Because like you said, he's not bad. He's also very, very jacked. Like, right. You can't tell under that little shirt he wears, but...
Yeah. Or behind all those bad jokes.
Oh, horrible jokes. Horrible jokes. Do you think that Happy Corbin is going to interfere at all in this match?
Yes.
Do you think he's going to interfere to the point of disqualification?
I think maybe there's a chance there... I don't know.
I don't know either.
It might be behind the ref's back.
So as it usually is.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Because talk about people like you kind of forget. He has to be coming out. He's not technically in this match, but him and fucking Madcap Moss are joined at the hip.
Right.
So I assume we'll see him there.
But where's he at right now? He's probably in a hot tub.
He's probably in a hot tub.
In a 5-star hotel somewhere.
4-star. Money's tight, allegedly. What was I going to say? Oh, talk about someone who you kind of forget how good they are at wrestling. Happy Corbin.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't wrestle very often anymore. And you forget. He's fucking like 6'5".
Yeah.
And pretty strong.
He's a fucking NFL player.
He was a football player, yeah. But anyway, so that's going to be an interesting match. Kind of don't know what to expect of. I don't have high hopes, but I think Drew McIntyre is going to win.
Right.
And I love Drew McIntyre, so that's fine by me. All right, next we have Edge versus The Miz.
I'm excited for this match.
I'm excited for this match, too. I wrote something. I didn't even share these with you, my notes. Whoopsie-doopsie. Right. I put a note down because we've seen over the past few weeks, there's been this rivalry with Edge and The Miz and Maurice. So do you think that Beth Phoenix, Edge's wife, is going to come back today and involve herself in this match?
I heard a rumor, like in a... Umbrella Academy.
Yeah,
I've been hearing whisperings of a potential Beth Phoenix return. I don't know how true that is, but if there is for any anything she might return for, I think it might be to stand by your man. Especially they've been referencing her a lot in their promos against one another. So
and even back when like. Seth Rollins was being super invasive into their home life,
right.
Literally their home. They mentioned her a lot back then too. I kind of thought maybe then I think there were whisperings of it again. But this feels way more likely that she would come back for this and then have possibly an Edge, Maurice, no, Edge, Beth Phoenix, The Miz, Maurice, like tag team.
That would be
match.
cool.
That would be cool because I haven't seen one of those live yet either.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to see her do some of Edge's moves because he's been using some of her moves. Man, Edge had an awesome 2021. I'm just so excited to see what he does this year. He wrote on Instagram this long thing about how 2021's been one of his favorite years of his career.
Yeah.
And I mean, for anyone who knows Edge's story, you can understand why. They did not include the return of Edge this year in WWE's top 10, which I was very upset about.
Well, didn't he also return the year before?
Well, yeah, but it's a personal thing.
Yeah.
Because
we didn't watch it the year before.
Right, exactly. So when he returned this year, it was my first time seeing him back in the WWE in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I was like shooketh. But yeah, so I mean, I'm excited to see the Miz back in action too.
Right.
But Edge over the last several pay-per-views hasn't let down. He always puts on a hell of a show.
I know.
So I'm just super excited.
I agree. I've never seen Maurice wrestle. I don't know if I'm going to see her wrestle today, but I've never seen her wrestle. And when we started watching WWE again earlier this year, The Miz was in a wheelchair. I don't know if he needed to be at that point, but I think maybe we saw like a little bit of a match between him and somebody before he went to Dancing with the Stars, but it wasn't like we didn't get a lot.
Yeah, because he lost super quick, and then he beat up Johnny Drip Drip.
Yeah, Johnny Drip Drip.
I know. I hope to God they bring him back this year.
He's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss John Morrison. Seeing that clip of him and of their tag team against Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, I was like, man, because I know, and this is no shade at all. All the respect to Mr. Bad Bunny, Mr. Bunny.
Happy
I know
New
he was
Year.
released. Hey, Happy New Year!
Yeah, he was released.
But I'm saying I would love for them to bring him back at some point. And no disrespect to Mr. Bad Bunny, because he, for someone who's not a wrestler, put on a great show. Mm-hmm. But that cool like powerbomb flip, like I know for a fact, John Morrison had a lot to do with that. Yeah, to like sell it and like make it look good.
A lot of super impressive moves take sometimes even more from the person receiving it than the person giving it. And he was really good at, and because he was also kind of one of those aerial, like flippy kind of guys, which is because he's like big and not old, but older.
I think he's trained in, I could be wrong. I thought he was like, he looks like he's trained in capoeira.
Yeah,
like,
that would make sense to me. But yeah, and also he didn't get a lot on his own because he was with The Miz, who was in a wheelchair. And then they had the whole thing, which was great, of him, The Miz betraying him and didn't even need a wheelchair for like the last half of it. And then it was just like, when The Miz was on Dancing with the Stars, we got a few clips of John Morrison like meditating in the back, and then he was released.
Yeah.
So it was wild. Anyway, but that's not what we're talking about. It's sad, but as for Edge versus The Miz, I think Edge is gonna win.
Right.
But I am excited to see The Miz have like a full match.
I would like for Edge to win.
Me too.
I would like for Edge to win. That's my boy. But wouldn't it be crazy if this truly was the year of The Miz?
I mean, yeah, it would be.
I mean, not every match is gonna be
what we want.
Exactly. There are bound to be some upsets.
Yeah. I don't know. I like The Miz.
I like The Miz too.
As someone who did not watch wrestling during like the Attitude Era because I was a child and we didn't watch wrestling in my household. But he kind of reminds me of that.
Right.
Like, I don't know, his facial expressions and stuff. Sometimes I'm just like, that reminds me of like stuff I remember seeing The Rock do or like stuff like that. So I like him.
You mentioned that the renewing their wedding vows reminded you
like
of an older clip.
That felt like old school WWE, at least that I'm aware of.
Right.
Because that's some bullshit. That's like wrestling in a supermarket type stupid shit. But yeah, that was good. So I'm excited. I have a feeling this one will have a little bit maybe more surprises than other matches tonight. I've never seen. I don't even know what Beth Phoenix looks like, to be perfectly honest.
Right.
But I'm always for women, especially like mothers wrestling. Insane. Like in my head, when I was younger, wrestling was like old men did that. And then now it's just anyway. I love wrestling. But yeah, so that's that match. We will see.
Thank you, iFletch. It's sorry that you missed the last few. We actually haven't streamed a whole lot recently, just due to the holidays and work and visiting. Like, so it's fine. We are both doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. All right, next up, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
Smackdown.
SmackDown. The Usos versus the New Day. So I think this is going to be a great match because when you have these four together, like it's gonna be a good match. As for the title, I feel like the Usos are gonna retain. I mean, that's just the story of how it's been for the last but also it's a new year. Maybe this is the beginning of the end of the bloodline. I don't know.
I've got a theory.
Oh.
I've got a theory.
I love theories.
So, and we can talk about this. Goes a little bit into my theory of the main event.
Okay.
But I'll try and stick to this as much as I can.
Okay.
If Paul Heyman is actually out of the picture for the tribal chief, I feel like that's the house beginning to crumble.
Interesting. Paul Heyman held it together the entire time. We just didn't know.
So I'm thinking maybe if the Usos lose their titles tonight, that starts this whole storyline of Roman losing his fucking mind. And that way when we finally get to WrestleMania, he may lose his title there.
Interesting. And at that point, I think he would have a longer reign than Brock Lesnar.
I think so too.
And I have a feeling that's the goal that they're going to. I think that with him retaining for so long, I think it's to break that record.
Yes, and I think so. I think he's going to lose his title at WrestleMania, and I think he's going to take a long-deserved break.
Yeah.
Which
hopefully involves movies. Please act. I want to see you in a film on the big screen.
Right. He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
He was.
I say that every single time.
Hobbs and Shaw. But yeah, I agree, and I don't think he would be working this hard for this long with very little breaks. And not to say that he wrestles every single day because he doesn't. But that's interesting. Hold on, let me hold on to that one.
Ooh.
But I think we're working towards that, and I don't think at this point he would lose his title unless it was at WrestleMania to a relatively big name.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I agree with you there. I just don't know when that shift is going to be. I think it would be really interesting as Roman's new special counsel if I just was fucking shitty at my job and then it just deteriorates. And then Paul Heyman, that would give him even more credibility to be I was the reason that you were so good in the first place.
But all that to say is that I don't think it's impossible for the Usos. I mean, it's never impossible for them to lose their title at any event. But I don't know. This match I'm really unsure about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And like we said earlier for RK Bro versus the Street Profits, if the Usos are going to lose their title to anyone, I would rather it be the New Day because I love them. Right.
And they're on a big winning streak right now, and they're on this big push right now. So Xavier Woods got a new crown.
Digging a new crown.
So
they're putting in money. So that must mean it's important.
But yeah, that's interesting about Paul Heyman going onto NXT.
Yeah, to recruit Solo. Is that Sikoa? That is the missing Uso. That's their brother, their little brother.
Interesting.
Yes. So maybe was he on? Sorry, because we don't watch NXT. Was he on NXT this week? This Tuesday? Because that'd be interesting for him to be I lost my job. I'm going to immediately start headhunting the next fucking Oos, who I think is going to make it big. That'd be really shitty, though, to bring in their younger brother to be the next Roman Reigns. AJ Styles,
yeah. Because I did hear about that.
That other guy came on
to Raw.
To Raw this week.
Right.
Interesting.
Apparently we weren't crazy. Omos and AJ were supposed to have a match at Monday Night Raw, but Omos had to leave that night. I don't think he was really. I think they were still promoting him and stuff. So I don't think he. This was just like backstage stuff. He had to like go home for some reason. I don't know if he was like sick or something in the family, but to their credit, they put together a really good match with AJ Styles, and you're looking at me like I'm crazy
because I'm trying to remember what you're talking about.
AJ Styles on Monday Night Raw.
Was this the match with because
Apollo Crews
and Commander Aziz came out and they were like, if you don't have your giant, you can fight mine.
Right.
But then he didn't fight.
He didn't. I don't know why that happened, but
yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, I said Omos.
I know, but
so listen with your ears.
The last time you also said Otis when you meant Omos.
What last time when?
When we were watching Monday Night Raw.
Okay, but not on stream.
Oh my God.
All right then.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was. You could tell something was going on with that match, but if they were improvising, I guess that would make sense why there was a little bit of a mix-up.
But also, like, that was a damn good match. Anyway, we're going off besides the point again. Sorry about that, y'all. This one's a toss-up for me. I don't know who's gonna win this one.
It could go either way. But I think if the Usos lose, we need to have a more serious conversation about what's going to happen in the future of the bloodline.
Right.
Because it's a bad omen.
Yeah.
But
it's a bad Omos.
It's a bad Omos. All right. But next up is the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan.
Big time Bex.
Big time Bex.
Liv's truly in the big time now because she's pay-per-viewing with the man.
Yeah. This is like the biggest match of her career.
Right.
So far. Not like ever. She's
right.
going to do great things. But I don't know. In the beginning, coming into it out of the blue, I didn't really know a lot. I don't know a lot about either of them. But there was this like fan reaction to Liv Morgan that I didn't understand. Mm-hmm. People love Liv Morgan.
Right.
And going off of what I've seen in the past few months, I'm like, not that she's not talented or anything like that, but I just didn't understand in like the beginning why people liked her so much because she seemed like new and hasn't been in a lot of like important matches or anything.
Right.
And I kind of get it more now after like spending more time with her in more serious matches.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like Liv Morgan has had to deal with a bunch of shit the past year. And from like a business standpoint, as like an independent contractor, I think I would be like, okay, I will deal with all this shit as long as in the end it amounts to something major. And I feel like her winning the Raw Women's Championship at day one could be that big thing.
Right.
That would make all the rest of the bullshit worth it.
Right.
And I mean, the fans love her, so.
Yeah, she has a pretty intense fan base. And I think part of that is the fact that she is kind of seen now, at least, as this sort of like underdog. Like she has like a real underdog-esque story. And yeah, I mean, not to diminish any potential accomplishments of tonight, but Becky Lynch is someone else that I'm like, I'm sure she wants and could use a break. Yeah. Not because she's been, back for a long time. She's been back for several months now, but she has a tiny baby.
I'm sure she'd like to. She came back very early. I think earlier than initially planned.
Right. I think she'd like to spend time with her child.
Yeah. And even like after that one, it was like a random Raw where that fan like attacked Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
That was insane, probably very scary. Right. So, and then they just like kept going. Like he was back later that night, like nothing happened.
Oh, I was seething that night. I was I would, yeah.
So I don't know, stuff like that. I'm like, I would understand why someone would want to both of them would want to take a break to like, let's just spend some quiet time with our child and yeah. But I don't know. I also think her holding that title is temporary. I just don't know when she's going to give it up.
But going back to Liv Morgan's story, yeah, I think it would be this is a very exciting pay-per-view just because it's the literal first day of the year. Like, really anything could just pop off and change and set the tone, like you mentioned, for the rest of the year. So yeah, it would be interesting to see a Liv Morgan win at tonight's pay-per-view. But that said, we know how shifty the man can be, so I'm cautiously gonna stick with my girl, Big Time Bex.
I'll vote the other way. I'll go for Liv. And
you think it's not? I mean, I'm okay with either of them winning, but I'm just saying,
one of us will be correct.
Right.
I don't think I would mind if Liv Morgan took the championship, but also, I love Becky Lynch now.
Right.
Shocking.
I know.
But she's so fucking funny.
Right.
And I would be upset missing her talking shit every week.
Right.
And another thing, when you have the title, when you're the defending champion, especially like big names, like literally probably the biggest name in WWE right now.
Right.
Is that controversial to say?
About who? About Becky?
Becky Lynch?
No, not at all. Okay. Did you see the fucking pop she got at SummerSlam?
Yeah. Or her like paycheck. Her signing.
Oop.
But when you hold that, you don't wrestle as much.
Right.
As frequently. So
can't get hurt. They got to keep you around.
Exactly. So part of me is like, maybe it's worth it holding on to that title for the benefits of it. So maybe she wouldn't. I'm trying to think of it, and maybe it's not the way I should be thinking of it, in like a business standpoint kind of way.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. But I think, I don't know. I think you're right there. I think there's a real opportunity to showcase a younger talent. Not calling.
Not that Becky Lynch is old.
Not by any means. But I'm just saying, like, someone who's
fresher.
Yeah. And who has been kind of trying to get this push for a long time. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very interested in this match. They had a good match on Raw a few weeks ago, so I'm excited to see what they do in the big time.
Yeah, I agree. So that one will be fun at the very least. All right, next up we have the WWE Championship title match, which is a fatal 4-way match between Big E, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Bobby Lashley.
Right.
Bobby Lashley forced his way into this match.
Now, here's the thing. MVP said something on Raw a few weeks ago that I'm like, the marketer inside of me just went crazy. He said, Bobby, smash! And I'm like, if WWE does not make Bobby Smashly merch, y'all can have that. Vince, if you're watching this Twitch stream, if Austin Theory's watching this Twitch stream for you.
Oh, God.
Austin, don't say it's your idea. TM.
Legally, you have to tell him it was us.
Yeah. Because Bobby Smashly is...
Or Lobby Bashley. Bobby Bashley also works.
That, if I had a WWE hotel, that's what I'd call it.
You know what? I got a cricket for Christmas. I bought myself a cricket for Christmas. It was my own Christmas present. But I could make Bobby Bashley stickers.
Bobby Newport.
I'm going to make a Lobby Bashley shirt. I have iron-ons. If y'all see me next month in a Lobby Bashley shirt,
don't question it.
Don't question me. But if you want one, you Venmo me $30 and I'll make you one.
I don't know if we can say that on stream.
No, that's not going to happen. Sorry. But yeah, so this one's going to be crazy. I always underestimate Kevin Owens because he just looks like a fourth grader. My bad, Kevin. You're great. But like every time I see him, I'm like, he's not going to do anything. And then he ends up doing a lot of stuff. He's like very good.
Yeah, he's
Seth
great.
Rollins, always good. Big E, always good. Bobby Bashley, always good. This is going to be a good match. I just don't know who's going to win it.
Yeah. I'm going to start with this.
Okay.
I think Big E retains tonight.
Okay.
I think Big E retains tonight.
I would like that very much.
I'd be annoyed, although I think it'd be entertaining if Kevin Owens won. championship.
I would be annoyed at that too. You know what would be even more entertaining? If Seth Rollins won the WWE Championship and Becky Lynch retains her Raw Women's Championship. And then we have to listen to the two couple. Of them. Right. Yeah. That could be interesting, but sorry.
I don't know that. So here's my line of thinking.
Okay.
Going by process of elimination sort of thing. KO just signed back to the WWE, so he very well may be up for a title run very, very soon, if not starting tonight. But I'm looking at these four faces right now. Who has been vying for any sort of title event in the last year? It's been Seth freaking Rollins since he was on SmackDown to this. So I feel like he's a big contender, and I think it's still just a little soon for Bobby Lashley to win, especially if they are actually trying to transition him from heel to face.
Yeah.
Because we've been hearing whisperings of that as well.
Because he's still...
Whispers.
Whisperings. I think both work.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's still not a face. With MVP around, you can't be a face.
Right.
Sorry.
But I will still say, I don't think it was last Monday. It was the Monday before when they had that, when he was like, he had to win his way into the match or whatever, where they had that tag team match. It was a tag team match.
Yes.
The crowd was going crazy for Bobby Lashley.
That crowd loved Bobby Lashley.
And I don't know because I know sometimes regionally that has something to do with it, where some crowds are just bigger fans of a particular wrestler, that's an interesting anthropological study.
Oh.
To see which cities react to which wrestlers, because in Miami they go crazy for MVP. He's from there.
Understandably.
Right. I mean, he's from there. He speaks Spanish every time he goes there.
MVP.
I know. But anyway, so yeah, we'll conduct that study at some other point in time. But yeah, I don't know. I think overall, I think Big E retains. That'll only...
Shut up.
A dog. That'll only add to his like legacy as champ, as going through all these different matches.
I agree. And I also agree with you that I think the true match is going to be Big E versus Seth Rollins. Right. I think those are the two with the most... Kevin Owens very recently did his whole heel change thing.
Right.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Kickball chain.
So I don't know. I feel like it's too early for him to get that validation for being a little bad boy, little bad guy.
Right.
And like you said, Bobby Lashley like literally just got into this match, like shoehorned himself into it, and I think it would be kind of shitty for him to win back the championship from the person who won it from him.
Right.
And within like a year.
Right.
Like not a calendar year, but you know what I mean. So I agree. I think it's going to be... I think Big E's probably going to retain. It's still early into his reign. Early-ish.
Right.
But yeah, if anyone's going to take it from him, it's going to be Seth Rollins. And again, I love Seth Rollins. Love to hate Seth Rollins.
Right.
And if he was champion and Becky Lynch was champion at the same time, I would love to see just them come out and talk for like 10 straight minutes. Just talk together. It would be phenomenal. So yeah, but that's that match. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting to see how it goes. Also, I haven't seen a lot of Fatal 4-Way matches in my time.
Well, I mean, it's the same concept as a triple threat. So like anyone can pin anyone or make anyone. Yeah. So
it's a lot of people to fucking keep track of for Big E. He's very much at a disadvantage on this one.
So, I mean, he could lose.
Yeah.
But I think he retains.
Okay. We'll see. And next up, we have the match of the fucking night.
So wait, before we move on to that.
Okay.
Interesting. I want to point out that I'm pretty sure we would have gotten a SmackDown Women's Championship match tonight. However, over the last week, many of you may have heard, Toni Storm was released from the WWE.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Asked to be released from the WWE.
She asked to be released. So it wasn't like she was fired or anything like that. So sending lots of love to Toni Storm. She was very talented. So I'm a little bummed to see her go.
Me too, because she was like, I feel like one of the first people from NXT who kind of got a big push coming over.
Yeah, like almost right away.
Yeah. And we're still fucking waiting for Veer. It's been 8 months. But yeah, just they hyped her up so much, and she was doing very well. She was beefing with Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
The champion. So like, I don't know. They were setting something up, and you never know what is happening behind the scenes, especially at a company renowned for.
Well, that's fucking Vinnie Mac.
Yeah.
Being crazy.
So you would never know what's going on behind the scenes. So I'm not going to be like, oh, how stupid of her to give that up, because I don't know what was happening. But I'm kind of disappointed to not see the end of that story play out.
Right. And, you know, going back to Bobby Lashley, he started in the WWE like 10 or so years ago. And then he left for a hot minute. Mm-hmm. He joined other other companies and kind of built up his style and his shtick over the years. So hopefully it'll be nice to see, you know, if Tony Storm pops up elsewhere. I know AEW is real popular right now. So like, it'll be interesting to see her go somewhere. And then maybe sometime down the line, you know, especially wrestlers who are not straight up released.
Yeah.
We'll come back. I mean,
fired.
That's a whole, because wrestlers don't have a union. Wrestlers should unionize. But yeah, if the offer is lucrative enough down the line, and you know she's an even bigger name outside of the WWE,
mm-hmm. I can see it happening.
Yeah, I can see it happening. I'd love to see her come back. But wishing all the luck. I just wanted to say that before we continued. I felt it was important to.
That is a good point to make, because I forgot about that.
That's right.
So next,
they need more championships for women.
I agree.
Yeah, we have the Intercontinental and United States champion, and they only have one set of tag team titles for the women. Yeah. You should have them for both.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And also, but I will say we got the 24/7 championship. That's
True.
That's And earlier I misspoke. I was like, I've never seen like a mixed gender tag team match. That's not true, because was it this week or last week we saw Reggie and the person who has the 24/7 title versus Tamina and
R-Truth.
And R-fucking-Truth, yeah. So I did see a match like that recently. Sorry, just clarifying.
Right.
But I want to see another one. I want to see more of those.
Right.
Let the women fight the men.
Let the women fight the men.
Doudrop could take on a lot of men.
Doudrop versus Otis.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe Doudrop versus Ricochet.
Rhea Ripley versus Ricochet.
Rhea Ripley versus anybody.
That'd be a pretty good match. Yeah. Rhea Ripley
Charlotte
versus
Flair
Seth
versus
Rollins.
Anybody. Oh my God.
That'd be a good match.
Charlotte Flair versus Seth Rollins. Insufferable.
I know. They would just be shouting at each other.
So annoying. Anyway,
yes, the main event.
The main event of the night is for the WWE Universal Championship title. It is the head of the table, your tribal chief, the head of the bloodline, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
He sounded just like him. Except for when Paul Heyman speaks like that, he fucking spits everywhere. Disgusting.
Listen, we don't speak ill of Paul Heyman.
I'm glad he was fired. No, I'm just kidding. Poor Paul.
Poor Paul.
I will say, though, as the new special counsel, doesn't pay very much. Doesn't pay anything at all, actually. It's a voluntary position. Did you know that? Because I fucking did.
Doesn't pay at all.
No benefits, no health insurance, nothing.
For those of you listening on the podcast version on Spotify, we have on the Twitch stream here, we've got our subtitles here.
Our names, yeah.
I'm the Drama Bull.
Yes.
A direct reference to the People's Champ. And Kendra, for the longest time, was the Bloodline Bitch.
I changed it.
She changed it for today's, and she's now going by Roman's new special counsel.
There was one week where I wanted to change it to Walking Thumb.
Yeah, I talked you out of that one.
And I was talked out of it. But I think that was one of the best insults to ever be on WWE.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about this fucking match for the Universal Championship. So, I think Roman's going to win.
I also think Roman's going to win.
I think the biggest mystery of this match is going to be where Paul Heyman fits in If he's,
Yes.
I assume he's going to be there. You mentioned, you were like, is he going to walk out with Brock Lesnar?
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Whether he does or doesn't, though, is irrelevant because I think either which way. So we're going back to a theory that I mentioned earlier in the stream. I'm bringing it back now. I think that this whole Paul Heyman being fired is actually a ruse to trick Brock Lesnar. I think he's going to make it seem as though he is on Brock Lesnar's side. Mm-hmm. But being the genius he is, mm-hmm. he and Roman have planned this from the jump.
I could see that being the case, or he and Roman did not plan it, and he was actually fired, but in order to get back on Roman's good graces, he himself decides to become a spy for Roman Reigns, and then tries to, like, get his way back in that way.
Right.
I don't know. It seemed... it's hard because Paul Heyman's such a good actor. I don't know how genuine that reaction was supposed to be.
Right.
When he got fired. And then got Superman punched in his fucking mug.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
So I'm glad that Paul Heyman has been, for anyone who's not familiar with Paul Heyman, but although if you're watching this, you probably are.
Familiar with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, if you're watching this niche little thing we do, you probably know Paul Heyman. But for as active as he's been for the last several decades, I'm still so, like, he's still so game for anything. I mean, I don't think he'll get a fucking rock bottom through a table like he did 20 years ago.
Yeah, he doesn't have that ponytail to protect him anymore.
Yeah.
Cushion his blow.
I love the ponytail look.
I fucking hated it.
But yeah,
but didn't he almost get F5'd?
Yeah, he got picked up.
He got picked up, and then he was being held.
Yeah.
As Brock Lesnar was speared, if I remember correctly. Like, it takes a lot of trust. And again, it's people that he's known for years, decades. So it takes a lot of trust to fucking stare down the barrel of fucking Roman Reigns' supercharged, cocked hand.
Yeah, but it's okay. I love that moment. Just seeing him get fucking... he got his halls decked. Roman decked his halls.
You can't make those jokes anymore.
I miss Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Miss Christmas. But as far as... I don't know... especially if he was... Now knowing that he was on NXT trying to poach people, part of Roman's family, I don't know if he would just, like, throw it all away and immediately be on Paul Heyman's side.
Right.
We'll see. I think we're definitely going to see some... thing happen. It's gonna be so bizarre seeing Roman Reigns come out without Paul Heyman. Right. As long as, like, I've been watching wrestling, which was less than a year, Paul Heyman has always been there. Right. Always. So to see him without him is gonna be fucking bizarre. He's gonna have to carry his own belt in. Like a plebe. Like a fucking normal guy.
Now, to speak to the other possibility, and this is no disrespect to Brock Lesnar. Brock, if you're watching, there's no disrespect.
No God, he's not watching.
Brock, if you're watching, no disrespect. At least this would be a rematch, and it's a little bit of a... I hope it's a better match than the last time they met. Just because I think they, like, ran out of time or something. That match felt weird.
Yeah, I agree.
So hopefully it's a little bit of a better match than we got last time. But ever since learning about that squash for the title he had against Kofi Kingston, where he beat Kofi Kingston in, like, seconds. Yeah. I'm always weary of them bringing Brock Lesnar back for title matches because I'm like that's such a... It's going to start to feel like a cop-out. Like, oh, we need an exciting champion. Let's get Brock Lesnar. Yeah. But... like I said, as long as it's a good match, I'll be happy with whatever. But personally, I don't think they're going to... I think Roman's going to win. If they bring Brock back a third time, I think maybe that third time he'll win.
That's the thing. I think he comes and goes so frequently that, like, they wouldn't give him the title.
Right.
Because he's just going to leave in a few months anyway.
Right.
I mean, unless he's going for like a count, like I want to be the most ever.
I think he has a long way to go.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that would make sense for him, like coming and going every few months.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if they would do that. Yeah, and like you said, I think they're setting up. I don't think Roman Reigns is going to lose at a random pay-per-view. I think it's going to be at WrestleMania.
Right.
So, yeah. But I'm excited to see this match because I love Roman Reigns, as you guys know.
Yeah.
And I'm also excited to see what happens with Paul Heyman. Because this whole side drama of Paul Heyman being a star-crossed lover, I love it. And if this was a fan fiction, I would be reading it.
So I want everybody who's listening, including Brock Lesnar, to go out and look, just Google Werner Herzog WrestleMania. The man is obsessed, and I get it.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know who Werner Herzog is, you probably do if you watch The Mandalorian. Show me the baby. Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
I love John has mansplained fucking Paul Heyman to you. He's mansplaining Werner Herzog to you. What won't he mansplain?
I'm not mansplaining anything.
He's mansplaining that he's not mansplaining to me right now.
Anyway, no, I'm not mansplaining. I'm letting them know.
Legendary actor Werner Herzog once compared wrestling to like the most pure form of theater.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you read the article? I'm sorry. I'll let you explain it.
That was it. That's pretty much it. And we agree with him.
But it's not even been one thing. It's a collect for like 20 years. He's been comparing. He will just randomly bring up WrestleMania, and it's hilarious. No one got the reference. Okay, well, thanks. So it's very funny, and I get it. So this whole side drama. Stop it! This whole side drama with Paul Heyman, in this New Moon-esque romance with Brock and Roman.
New Moon-esque romance, John. I love your spirit.
Go ahead. Explain to me what you think.
This is more Eclipse. If it was New Moon, one of them would be in Italy trying to kill themselves. Anyway.
Well, they were in Saudi Arabia.
I'm not going to mansplain the Twilight Saga to you.
Yeah, you're going to
better than that.
Kendra-splain.
If there was one thing I could Kendra-splain anything about, it's the fucking Twilight Saga. And if you have any questions or concerns, reach out to me and I will.
I wasn't mansplaining. I was Mandalorian-splaining.
Oh my God.
I did it.
I hate him so much. Does anyone want him? Take him off my fucking hands. Anyway, yeah, so that's going to be the big match of the night. I hope it's a full match with a lot of good moves in it. If they want to maybe go into the audience a little bit. Actually, don't go into the audience with the whole COVID thing happening. But yeah, I know it's
for anyone who doesn't know what COVID is, it's actually... No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. I would lose my fucking mind. But yeah, so that's pretty much our predictions for how tonight is going to go. Of course, we always want to hear what you guys think.
Yes.
So put it in the chat, leave it in the comments.
All that jazz.
Tweet at John. I don't know.
I hope that... Listen, y'all. If y'all aren't already, get vaccinated. If you can, if you were able.
Interesting turn. This is taken.
Well, no, because here's the thing. I'm worried about the WWE reverting back to the Thunderdome. I mean, if that is the safest option, I would much rather them do that than continue.
What do you mean if? That is 100% the safest option. But if it's viable.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about the next couple of weeks leading up to, or months leading up to WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is their Super Bowl, so they're gonna want to sell. They're at in
They've
Dallas.
already sold tickets,
right? So I'm just concerned about what the next few months look like in terms of crowd attendance. If because half of Broadway is shut down right now, so like.
Well, here's the thing. Sorry to get super political.
It's not political, though.
Oh, it kind of is. Now that everything has already opened up again, nobody is going to go back. Right. It doesn't matter the numbers. It doesn't matter. People in power who are supposed to care do not care enough to revert back to the not even really actually quarantine that we had last year.
Right.
So I think, especially since they did WrestleMania last year, it doesn't matter how many people get sick. It doesn't matter.
I'm not worried about WrestleMania. I'm worried about everything in between that.
Oh, well, I don't think they care.
Yeah, well, they're going to care if all of their champs get sick.
That's the only thing that I think that they would be worried about. They don't care about the people in the crowd. I think if anything, you'll see less people like shaking hands and going up to fans and stuff like that on their way up. And you already see, I feel, less of that than normal.
My favorite moment was at Extreme Rules when they went into the crowd and Paul Heyman pulls a face mask out of his pocket for Roman Reigns.
See, that was fucking bad ass. I love that.
Yeah, that was awesome. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get into that little tangent. I don't think it should be a politicized conversation, but you're right, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Without any fault of our own. But anyway, be safe this year, y'all.
Yes. Be safe.
Join us for the next one. You see our all our socials there underneath Roman's new special counsel.
Yes.
So please follow us or consider following us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and right here on Twitch.
And like always, all of our pre-previews go up on YouTube the same day. So like literally right after we end this stream, it is the end. After we end this stream, I'm going to be racing to get this bitch on YouTube before 8 p.m. tonight. Right. So if you want to rewatch any of this, if you missed any of it, once you're feeling, I don't think you saw the very beginning. If you want to rewatch the very beginning, make sure you're following us or subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see when that goes live sometime later today.
Right. And yeah, let us know in the comments what you think tonight is going to look like. Let us know what your pay-per-view rituals are.
The fuck is that?
The Good, the Bad, and the Elite. Is that a pay-per-view?
It sounds like a show. Is that like a wrestling movie? Is that an anime? It could be anything. Please inform us when you reveal them.
Good, Bad, and the Elite. Oh, it's like
It's a series on YouTube.
Yeah, I see Chris Jericho.
Oh, it's a wrestling thing.
Huh. It's a series on YouTube. Oh,
never heard of it.
But let us know what your pay-per-view day rituals are. We like to get
chicken wings,
and more chicken wings.
We get a lot of chicken wings.
Yeah.
And we will be doing that today. Very excited for chicken wings. I'm starving. You should watch it on stream. You always want us to watch shit on stream. Not that I don't agree. I do want to watch stuff on stream, but I need somebody to come and set it up for me because I don't know how to do it. I tried to get the internal microphone to go through Streamlabs. I can't do it. I'm stupid.
Daddy,
sorry.
Chill.
I'll look into it more. I've tried to research it, try to figure it out. Also, I'm on a...
Oh, you silly.
I'm on a Mac, which like makes everything 10 times more difficult. Because for Mac, it's like not as easy to get the internal audio to go through Streamlabs. Like you have to download a separate program. Anyway, I'll try to look into it more because there are things that I want to... Yeah, no, it doesn't work. I have to download something first to get... And then I tried to do it once and it didn't work. But I'll look into it more for you specifically. And also because I think it would be fun to watch like old matches and shit on stream. But anyway, that's irrelevant. Sorry. Not...
Irrelevant.
Yeah, sorry. I made this on my Cricut.
Oh.
Anyway, so that's the end of... I know I'm doing something wrong. I do not disagree with you there.
We have to end this before y'all get into a full-on argument.
Yeah, we're going to be screaming at each other. Okay.
My hair
thank you
looks
guys.
like shit.
So,
sorry.
It's the end of the stream.
All right. We love you.
We love you very much. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, I hope you have a good pay-per-view night, and we'll see you next time.
See you for the next one.
Peace. Bye.